Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Good evening, everyone. Last week we talked about hard speech, right? Offensive speeches. We are talking about 4 verbal actions, right? Hard speech, hear me. He speak harshly. He utter such words as are rough, hard, harmful to others, offensive to others, bordering on anger, and conducive to concentrations, right? So these are hard speech. I think it's clear enough, I think, right? So it is offensive, not polite, right? For that reason, if you say such offensive speeches, so it will destroying concentration, right? Concentrations. So that is hard speech. So here, abstinence from hard speech. So this is the opposite of hard speech. I think if we learn this one, I think it will be more clear to understand pharusavācā, right? Hard speech. Here, the Buddha said that having abandoned hard speech, he abstained from hard speech. He speaks such words as are gentle, right? So what we say must be gentle and pleasing to ear. So, some of the pleasant words are very pleasing to ear, right? So these are the opposite of hard speech. So if you are speaking gently, if you are using pleasant speech, that will please the ear of other people, right? It is considered as a wholesome deed, right? We have to understand in this way. So if you are using offensive speeches, hard speeches, that is unwholesome. But if you are speaking in gentle way, and pleasing to the ear of the listener, right? So that is considered as a wholesome actions, right? Because of wholesome actions, so the listener are very happy to hear, right? Actually, the expressions are very beautiful. So therefore, I use in Pali, levave as go to the heart. Here, haringama. Haria is the heart, right? Gamami, go to the heart, right? Some words are very pleasant that it go to the heart, directly go to the heart. So people become very happy. Sometimes we say something, you are beautiful, you are handsome, right? So it go to their heart. They're very happy, right? So I think that it's important to speak such one. But the most important thing is, must be honest here, right? Some people may not be honest to say such one, right? Maybe they want to get something from you, and they may say, right? So when you are speaking a gentle way, a lovely way, must be honest, right? Must be honest. As go to the heart and courteous, desired by many and agreeable to many, right? But of course, polite people, many people like, right? Many people like, because it's agreeable. Here, courteous. Courteous in Pali is pori. Actually, pori here means the speeches of the people who are living in big city, right? Big city. So normally, the people who are living in the rural area, the way they talk is not polite, not gentle, right? Even though they may be honest, the way they talk is not polite. The way they behave is not polite. But the people who live in the big city, they are polite, right? So therefore it is called pori. Actually, it comes from the word pura. Pura means the city or the country. Singapore, right? Singapore. Singa means the lion, right? Pura means the city or the country. Lion city, right? But you can, normally we call Singaporean, right? Now we can call Singaporean, right? We can use another term, Singaporean, right? This also can be the name for the people, the name for the citizen, right? But of course, this is a speech or the word, right? The word. But we can give the name for the people as well, right? Singaporean, Singaporean, like this, right? Desired by many and agreeable to many. So this is a wholesome actions, right? Wholesome actions. So if we are talking pleasant speeches, gentle way, if we are talking in gentle way and pleasing to the ear, I think it is a good deed, right? It's a good deed. Today we want to learn. We're going to learn Cakkapala Sutta. So Cakkapala means the simile of the soul, right? The simile of the soul is very famous one, a very beautiful sutta. So in this sutta, Cakkapala Sutta, simile of the soul, page number, Majjhima Nikaya, Sutta number 21, page number 217, right? 217. So in this sutta, Mauliya was associating overmuch with the bhikkhunis, right? So when other monks talk about dispraise of those bhikkhunis, he is not happy. He's angry, and he make a case of it, right? So when the monks talk about dispraise of Mauliya, the bhikkhuni also, they are not happy, and they are angry, right? They respond with the anger. They use harsh speeches, right? Unpleasant speeches and offensive speeches. So this was reported to the Buddha, and the Buddha called Venerable Mauliya and examined whether it is truth or false. And Mauliya said that yes, it is truth, right? And the Buddha said that, paragraph number 6, next page, paragraph number 6. The Buddha said, Faguna, it is not proper for you, a cleansed man, go forth out of faith from the home life into homelessness, to associate overmuch with the bhikkhunis. It's not proper for you, right? To associate with the bhikkhunis overmuch. Therefore, if anyone speaks dispraise of those bhikkhunis in your presence, you should abandon any desires or any thought based on household life. And you should train this. My mind will be unaffected. I shall utter no evil words. I shall abide compassionate for his welfare with a mind of loving kindness, without inner hate, That is how you should train Phagona. But here, the Buddha is talking Venerable Phagona. If you hear dispraise of those bhikkhunis in your presence, do not feel angry, right? Do not feel angry. Trying to practice compassion, right? Compassion to others. But even if those other people will give those bhikkhunis a blow with the hand, right? A cloth is stiff, even with the knife, right? You don't have to be angry. Patient, right? So I think it's very, if you look at this one, but of course, for ordinary people, very difficult to follow. For ordinary people. But of course, we should try to follow as much as we can, right? Suppose other people are talking about your parents, ill of your parents, right? Dispraise of your parents. You may not like it, right? You will not like it. But the Buddha will give advice not to feel angry, right? Not to be offended. So trying to practice patience, right? So I think that if you look at this one, even they will give your parent a blow with the hand, with the cloth, with the stick, even with the knife, right? You don't have to be angry. So you don't produce any even inner hate, right? So I think that is a very beautiful sutta. So then, look at paragraph number 7. Then the Blessed One addressed the bhikkhu thus: Bhikkhus, there was occasion when the bhikkhu satisfied my mind. So actually the Buddha is recalling that, in earlier time, the monks do not need to admonish. So if he says something, be mindful. So the monks follow him. So very easy to talk about it, right? And the Buddha may said that if you eat a meat in one day, right? If you eat a meat in one day, only 1 meat a day, right? If you are eating 1 meat a day, not 3 times a day, only 1 meat a day, right? It is good for you. It's good for your health, right? So you will be very light, right? Your body will be very light. The monks will listen to him, right? So the Buddha is talking that earlier the monks are very easy to talk, right? Very easy to talk. Then the Buddha gave the Buddha gave a story of Vedehika, a housewife. Paragraph number 9. The Buddha talked about story of the housewife and her maid. The housewife name is in Savatthi. Housewife name is Vedehi. She is famous for gentle and meek and polite, right? So she has a maid named Kali, who was clever, nimble, and neat in her work. She's very clever. She got up early, and she will do everything, right? But her boss, Vedehika, is very famous for, she's very gentle, very polite, very understanding, right? Nobody see that she is angry, right? Nobody see her face. She is angry. It's very gentle. Then maid Kali went to test whether her boss Vedehika is actually polite, or just because she is clever at her work and she will do everything, right? She went to task, right? For that reason, she got up late. She got up late. Then Vedehika, her boss, say, "Hey Kali, what's it, madam? What is the matter that you get up so late? Nothing is the matter, madam. Nothing is the matter, you wicked kid. Yet you get up so late. So the boss, Vedehika, was angry and displeased. And she's called, right? She's called. Then the maid Kali thought that. So her boss is not, how to say, the fact is that why my lady does not show anger, it is actually present in her, not absent. She has anger, right? But she doesn't show her anger because she is very dutiful, right? She will do everything. Then she went to test again, and she got up later in another day. Mr. Vedehika said that, hey Kali, what is madam? What is the matter that you get up later in the day? Kali said that, nothing the matter, madam. Then Vedehika said that, nothing is the matter, you wicked kid. Yet you get up later in the day. She was angry and displeased, and she spoke word of displeasure. Now she used pharusavācā, right? Hard speeches, offensive speeches, right? So Kali began to know that she has anger. The reason is she is very dutiful, right? Then stay Kali, the maid, went to test again, and she got up stay later in the day. So by that time, the Vedehika, very angry, right? And she took a rolling pin, gave her a blow on the head, and cut her head, right? So the Kali ran away and said that, look at, right? See ladies, the gentle ladies walk, right? Sees ladies, the meek ladies walk. How can she become angry and displeased with the only maid for getting up late, right? So from that time onward, Mistress Vedehika is, how to say that, then later on, a bad report about Mistress Vedehika spread this. Mistress Vedehika is wrath. Mistress Vedehika is violent. Mistress Vedehika is merciless, right? So doesn't mean she has anger, but because Kali is very dutiful, for that reason she does not show anger, right? So Kali actually she tests a lot. She shouldn't do that, right? She shouldn't do that. So anyway, the Buddha want to highlight that some people they have anger, but they does not show. They do not show their anger. But if unpleasant experiences, if they encounter unpleasant experiences, or if they encounter how to say the offensive speeches, and they will show their anger, right? So here the Buddha is talking that we have to be patient, right? Whatever occasion. So here, I want to actually this is from the Sutta. I entirely copied from the Sutta, right? I give the title a gentle monk, right? And the Buddha said that bhikkhus, some bhikkhu is extremely gentle, extremely meek, and extremely peaceful. So long as disagreeable causes of speech do not touch him, right? This is a human nature, right? Some people are very polite, very gentle, as long as they do not touch unpleasant speeches, right? So and then disagreeable cause of speech do not touch them, right? That's a human nature. But of course, so this is the nature of people. It is a how to say But some people, even though disagreeable cause of speech do not touch them, they stay angry. They stay angry. But this is only for the normal people, right? People. So here, the Buddha gives admonition to the monks. So some bhikkhu are extremely polite and gentle, so long as disagreeable causes of speech do not touch him, right? Do not touch him. But it is when disagreeable causes of speech touch him that it can be understood whether that bhikkhu is really kind, gentle, and peaceful, right? Some are very polite and very peaceful, so long as they do not touch, right? They don't encounter disagreeable speeches. But only when they encounter disagreeable speeches, causes of speeches, so we can decide whether a monk or whether he is gentle or not, right? So I think when you look at in the meeting, right, especially in the meeting, so you can judge the people, right? Some people are very hostile and very offensive speeches. They will use offensive speeches, right? So actually, if you are angry, right? So that means you show your anger, right? You know, some people, even though they are, people are shouting at them, right? Complaining to them, they will not show their anger. They're very calm and very gentle, right? Just like that, right? The Buddha said that. So we can decide only when we are encountering unpleasant experiences. We can decide whether we are polite or not polite, or we are gentle or not, right? I think this is very important soda, right? Very important soda. Especially politicians are very polite and very gentle, right? So even though shouting and complaining, they were, even though they are criticizing, right? People are criticizing, so they will listen patiently and they do not show their anger, right? So they are well trained. They are well trained. So no, we can practice this patience, right? We can practice patience in our daily life, right? In the 38 blessing, patience, Khanti is one of the blessings, right? So if we can practice patience, so that means it is a blessing, right? So you are bringing blessing in your life, right? Patience is very important. Okay. Can you use the microphone? Yeah.
Practicing patience is one thing. You see, sometimes what's the thought behind? You may be very gentle, very patient and so forth. But you go back behind, I'm going to kill you. That would not be the right thing to do. I think the mindset is that you are patient, at the same time you don't have any crush on it. That's the most important thing.
Yeah, I did very.
Not the hidden mind that is very
latent mind, right?
Latent mind.
I think it's very important. For that reason, in the first verse of Dhammapara said that mind is forerunner of everything, right? Whatever you say, whatever you act, based on the mind, right? But of course, even though you are angry, but you still trying to control your action, right? Your speech, your action. But of course, it's good. It's good. Sometimes, even though we are angry, we do not show our anger. We can control, right? But of course, it is not healthy. But actually, everything comes from our mind. If anger and resentment is latent in our mind, even though we do not show them, I think it is a mental disease, right? Mental disease, not good, not healthy. But of course, even though people are using offensive speeches, if you do not have inner hate or latent anger, the best, right? The best. For that reason, Buddhism emphasizes the importance of the mind, right? So for that reason, we are always talking, lobha dosa moha, lobha dosa moha, lobha dosa moha, right? These are, the the negative power behind, right? Because of lobha dosa moha, we are speaking, we are acting, right? As you said that, I agree. I 100% agree that we shouldn't have inner hate or resentment in our mind when we encounter disagreeable causes of speech, but it's not really easy, of course. Sometimes, even though we have hatred or inner hate in our mind, we should try to control, right? Not to speak, not to act with our body. That is called Sila, right? But here, the mind is concentration, Samadhi and Panya, right? For that reason, Sila, Samadhi, Panya. So concentration and wisdom, and the mind. In other words, the mind is more important than Sila, right? Because it's more difficult to control, right? Not more difficult to practice. Yeah, but here actually, the Buddha is talking outer appearance, right? Even though the man may be very angry inside, but it does not show anger, right? Does not show anger. But of course, this is the first step. But we shouldn't have any inner hate or anger inside, right? But we should try not to be angry, right? In other words, for that reason, we always say that emotional intelligence, right? Emotional intelligence, IQ, right? So actually, IQ is embodied. The ability to understand and the ability to know, right? That is IQ. When you want to become a leader or the head of one association, you need to have EQ, right? Emotional intelligence. Even though you feel angry, you shouldn't show your anger, right? That is called emotional intelligence, EQ, right? EQ. Then the Buddha said that another one, easy to admonish. In Pali, pharusavācā, right? Easy to admonish. So some people are easy to talk. Some people, you cannot talk them. They are very stubborn, right? Very stubborn. So some people listen easily, right? So if you talk something, they will listen and they will do, right? Some people are very stubborn. They have a lot of reasons, right? A lot of excuses. So they don't want to do it, right? But of course, giving the reasons is good, right? Giving a sound reason, because of that, we shouldn't do that, right? So you can talk to your parent, you can talk to your teacher, right? Giving a sound reasons. But some people are stubborn, so they give you a lot of excuses, right? Lame excuses. So in this way, they are not ready to listen. But here, easy to admonish me, easy to talk, right? So this one also one of the blessings in 31 planes of existence, right? Sorry, 38 blessings, among the 38 blessings. So what? Sorry. Samphappalāpa. Actually, is another term. The same thing. Suvacā, right? Being the person easy to admonish, right? It is a type of blessing, one type of blessing, So some people, if the parents taught something, they are ready to listen, right? But of course, if they are talking nonsense, We don't want to believe, we don't need to agree on that, right? So we can give a sound reason, but if they assign you something, you're easy, right? Easy to talk to, then you will do it. No excuses, right? The Buddha said that I do not call a bhikkhu easy to admonish, who is easy to admonish and make him say easy to admonish only for the sake of getting robes, alms food, a resting place, and medical requisites. Actually, it's very important. Only for the sake of something. He want to get something, right? For that reason, he pretend, he pretend that he is the one who is easy to admonish, easy to see, right? So actually, just like that, some people, they will listen to you just because they want to get something from you, right? Something from you. So the Buddha said that it's not a suvācā. Such people are not suvācā, not easy to admonish, right? Here, robes, alms food, resting place, medical requisites. So there are 4 requisites, 4 offering for the monks, right? For the monks. So some of the monks, they will be easy to talk just because of these one, right? Because of these one. They are getting robes, resting place, monasteries, and alms food, medical requisites, right? Because of that, they are easy to talk, right? Easy to talk. The Buddha said that we cannot call them the one who is easy to admonish, right? Why is that? The Buddha said that. Why is that? Because that bhikkhu is not easy to admonish, nor making easy to admonish when he gets no robes, no alms food, no resting place, and no medical requisites. If he does not get things that he wants, he becomes stubborn, right? Not easy to talk. So I think that is a very beautiful one. I think we can give an example of your office, right? If you are doing your job, if you are listening to your boss, just because of money or salary, we cannot say that. You are the one easy to admonish, right? Easy to talk. Just like that, I think, right? The children may listen to their parents just because they want to get something from their parents, right? For them, we will not say that. The one easy to admonish, right? But when a bhikkhu is easy to admonish and make him say easy to admonish because he honors and respects and reveres the Dhamma, him I call easy to admonish. Here is very important. Respect the Dhamma, honor the Dhamma, revere the Dhamma, right? Then only the Buddha will say the one who is easy to admonish, right? So he will look at the Dhamma, what is right, right? What is right. Some people, the devotee, the Buddha will say something, right? So Buddha will say something. Now he will judge whether it is right or wrong. If it is right, if it is a righteous, and he will listen, right? He will listen. Just look at the Dhamma, right? Just look at the Dhamma. So he will not look at whether he get or he does not get, right? So he honor the Dhamma. He respect the Dhamma. Based on the Dhamma, he will decide, right? Just like that, when you're working in a company, not because of money, not because of salary, but because of job, right? Thing that you do. So if your boss will say, and righteous way, right? In the wrong way, you will not listen. Just look at things that you should do, right? So here, as a lay person, the Dhamma hear me, how to say, things that you should do, right? Things that you should do. So you base your principle based on the job, right? Not based on your salary, not based on the money, right? I think it's very beautiful, how to say, teachings in Buddhism. Therefore, bhikkhus, you should train that. I shall be easy to admonish because we respect, we honor, respect, and revere the Dhamma, right? Revere the Dhamma. That is how you should train bhikkhus, right? Just like that, as a lay person, you're doing your job not based on the money, not based on the salary, right? But of course, it's not easy. Normally, people will just look at their salary, right? Not easy. But anyway, we should have our principle, right? Based on our principle of the work, right? So here, actually, what the Buddha want to say is, some people are easy to talk. The reason is they have expectation, something, right? For that reason, they are easy to talk. So the Buddha said that those people cannot be called as the one who is easy to talk. But when they do not get things that they want, they become stubborn. They change their behavior, right? Here, the Buddha want to highlight that we have to respect the Dhamma. In other words, we have to base on our principle, right? Principle of the truth, right? Principle of the truth. So then only, those people who have the principle of truth, right? Even though they are superior, higher, so they will listen, right? Junior ones, right? They will listen because they base on principle, right? Or the principle of truth, right? The Dhamma. I think many boss, they will not listen, right? Just do what I say. So you're very stubborn, right? Not easy to admonish or not easy to talk, right? Not easy to talk. Okay, any question? If no question, let's go to next one. So we have 4 verbal actions. The last one is frivolous talk. Frivolous talk, right? Samphappalāpa. So later I will show the literal definition of samphappalāpa. Samphappalāpa here means the speeches that destroy benefit and welfare, right? The benefit or welfare, right? Here, the Buddha said that he indulged in idle chatter. Idle chatter. No any other particular purpose, just talking, right? Just like a chit-chat, right? Just like a gossip, no particular purpose. Some people want to talk, some people just talking. Nonsense, right? So these are called idle chatter. He speaks at an improper time. That's very important. This is one of the characteristics of frivolous talk. Even we can call it frivolous action, right? Some people does not know timing, whether it is a proper time or improper time. So to know that, we have to be very mindful and we have to have a understanding or wisdom, right? Only 2, mindfulness and wisdom. Only you have these 2, then you will know whether it is a proper time or improper time, right? speaks falsely and speak what is unbeneficial. Sometimes, so when you are talking unbeneficial things, both for the listener and also for yourself, right? It is a frivolous talk. Normally, we translate samphappalāpa as a gossip, idle chat. Idle chat are I think the best way, the best one. Idle chat. Some people translate as a nonsense talk, right? Nonsense talk. Actually, it's very, it covers a lot, right? Even though what you're talking is very profound and very meaningful. Suppose I'm supposed to finish 9:50, right? 9:50, and the time exists. Stay talking. But what I'm talking is very profound, right? Teachings of the Buddha, very profound, but it's not proper time, not timely. People became very boring, right? They're sleepy, they're waiting to finish, right? If I'm doing many times like this, right? People will run away. Became frivolous, right? Frivolous. Here, what I want to point out is must be proper time, right? So, even though what I say is very profound, stay talking. Easy, 10 minutes, 50 minutes, right? 5 minutes, stay okay. But 10 minutes. I think last week I exceed about 10 minutes, right? I don't know. Today I think less people because of frivolous talk. Actually, my intention is to finish, right? So there is a sequence of teaching, right? Process of teachings. If I stop halfway, I think my teaching is not complete, right? My intention is very good. Number one, intention is good, right? Number two, profound. What I'm teaching is very profound, but not proper time, not timely. It became frivolous talk, right? It's very important to know. Normally, what we understand is frivolous talk, nonsense talk. What I'm saying is not nonsense, right? Very profound, very meaningful, but I exceed time, right? I do not look at the time. That's very important. Actually, in Myanmar, Mandalay is the center of Buddhist education. So there are a lot of monasteries. Before was a period, so they were announced which topic, which subject they are teaching, right? And we look at those advertisements and we choose good teacher, right? We choose a good teacher, very good place, right? If we do not like that teacher, we stop and we'll go to another teacher, right? For that reason, to become a teacher in Mandalay, not really easy, right? It's democratic. So if you are not good at teaching, they will run away, right? So for that reason, some teachers who are very good, so many students, right? Many students. So there are a few teachers. So when they are starting their lessons 8 o'clock, they will sit down 8 o'clock, sharp, right? Then they will finish 9 o'clock. They will, whether they finish their topic or not, they will stop. Without saying anything, go in. There are some teachers like this, right? So they are very punctual and they sit down the hour sharp, right? And they will finish. They just look at the time, whether they finish or not, they stop. For that reason, I think students like it. This is also, I think, one of the discipline, right? One of the discipline. But of course, sometimes rigidity also not very good. We have to look at the timing, right? Timing. what I want to say is, even though we are talking meaningful and profound talk, if it is not proper time, right, consider as a frivolous talk. For that, we have to be very mindful. Number one, mindfulness. Number two, understanding or wisdom, right? Based on these two ingredients, we have to decide, right? What is unbeneficial? So some people want to talk unbeneficial things, right? Not beneficial to themselves, for the listener as well, right? Speaks contrary to the Dharma and discipline, right? Speaks contrary to the Dharma and discipline. But here, when you say the Dharma, is very tricky word, right? Tricky word. Based on context, so we have to understand the meaning of Dharma, right? But here, the Dharma is not teachings of the Buddha. Here, the Dharma means righteous practice or righteous teaching, right? But here, the Vinaya means not Vinaya Pirika. The Vinaya means discipline, right? So here, speaks contrary to the Dharma and discipline means speaks and righteous way, speaks and discipline way. So when you're talking, no discipline at all, right? So you will say whatever you want. You will not obey, right? You will not obey the terms and conditions, right? Terms and conditions. You will not obey the rules of a place, right? Like this. So that is contrary to the discipline, right? Contrary to the discipline. So it is called frivolous talk, right? Speaks and righteous and disciplined way. So I think I'm so sorry if you are offended. I want to share a true story within ourselves, right? Last week we have to restrict our chat group just only to admins, right? Actually, I know that when you share something, it's very profound, number one. Number two, you have a good intention, right? But earlier we have said that it is only for the Sutta study class, right? We set up this chat group. Intention means for the last minute information we want to send out, right? For that reason we set up, right? Of course, sometimes people forget about that one, right? For that reason, even though they have a good intention, and they will say contrary to the discipline, right? Contrary to the rules, contrary to the terms and conditions, right? So actually, it became frivolous talk, right? Frivolous talk. I think it's very important to understand that. Actually, sorry that if it is offended. Actually, you're doing with a good intention. We know that, right? So we know that. Sometimes you forget about it, right? Forget about it. Okay, so here Dharma is not teachings of the Buddha. It's a righteous way, right? Righteous way. So later I will show you 110, the Dhamma Dhatu, right? It is another meaning. It's a very tricky one, right? Based on context, we have to understand. Mano Pobingama Dhamma, right? The Dhammapara, the first verse, right? The first verse. Mano Pobingama Dhamma. Mind is forerunner of everything. Here, the Dhamma means everything. So actually, it's based on context, right? Based on context. So, English translator, they will translate different way, right? Based on that, for those who do not understand Pali, for those who do not read, understand based on context, so they will interpret in wrong way, right? Wrong way. For that reason, I'm surprised that one of the scholars in England, he wrote so many books about Buddhism, and he misinterpreted the most important concept in Buddhism regarding with the soul theory, right? Soul theory, based on his limited understanding, right? He made a very, very big mistakes, right? Very big mistakes. So when we are talking about soul theory, I will explain, maybe I will touch on that, right? Sometimes I think soul theory is very important. Sometimes people say that Buddhism and Hinduism are the same. But of course, in there are many similarities, right? But in those contexts, we can say that they are the same, right? But one of the biggest difference between Buddhism and Hinduism, and between Buddhism and other Abrahamic religions, is soul theory, right? So it is very important. So the Buddha will not tolerate. Of course, the Buddha is understanding, the monks are understanding, but regarding with the soul theory, we do not tolerate, because that is very important, right? So if you want to understand higher level of understanding, if you want to become Sotapanna, Sakadagami, Anagami, Arahant, without understanding soul theory, you cannot, right? So that doesn't mean that if you become Sotapanna, you automatically know it, right? There is no soul, right? There is no soul. Everything is empty, right? Everything is empty. Just mind and matter, right? So what I want to say is, regarding with the, soul theory, so Buddhism will not tolerate, right? Totally different, right? Totally different. Okay. So here, Dhamma, right? The Dhamma, sometimes based on the context, right? So if you do not understand, the actual definition of those terms, I think very difficult to understand, right? Especially in the higher teaching, So here, the Dhamma means, contrary to the Dhamma means, unrighteous way you are talking, right? Unrighteous way. Contrary to the discipline means, without discipline, right? You are talking. Things that you said may be profound and meaningful, even though you have good intention, it became, right, frivolous talk. Then at an improper time, he speaks. So here I think one of the important criteria of frivolous talk is improper time, right? Very important. I think you have to take note this one. So when you are approaching a teacher, or when you are approaching your parents, or a distinguished guest, or higher authority, you have to know the time, right? You have to look at the timing, right? If you do not look at the timing, even though something that you said is very serious, it became frivolous talk, right? Improper time. He speaks such words as are worthless, worthless, unreasonable, and rambling. But here, worthless. Actually, last week I talk about it in the Abhidhamma class. So it is a repetition, right? It's a repetition. So here, worthless. For those who didn't attend the Abhidhamma class, I think is the first one, right? So here, worthless means sometimes. So when you're talking with our close friend, very close friend, right? So we are happy to exchange, right? So we are talking, right? So there are many nonsense things, right? Many frivolous things. We don't have any particular purpose. We have gratification in our mind, right? We are happy we are happy. But we do not notice we are killing our time. So we are killing our precious time. Right? Precious time. Worthless, right? Worthless. But we like it. But we forgot, right? It is frivolous. Especially when people grow old, right? They want to talk. They want to talk. But their children doesn't want to listen, right? But you feel angry. Why you do not listen to me, right? Like this, right? Actually, for those who grow old, I think it's very important part here. We have to be very mindful. You are no longer you. That means different, right? So when you are young, you are a very important person in the family, but trying to evaluate your status in the family, whether you stay important, whether you are not, right? So you have to judge your status in the family without bias, right? Without bias. Normally, old people, they always think that they are the most important person in the family, right? But all the affairs are managed by the children, right? By the children. We forgot about it, right? So for that reason, they interfere a lot, right? They interfere a lot. They think that they are still very important person, right? For that reason, when you grow old, to practice silence. Not all the time silent. What I mean is, for the old people, to practice silence is very important, right? So even last week I share our experience. So at the temple, one of our the biggest task, the biggest duty is to listen to the elderly people. They want to talk, right? And they will approach to the monks and they will talk. They will not know whether what they talk is beneficial or most of the time they are repeating. They are repeating some, because they just want to talk, right? But we have to listen to them. We know that it is not important for them, it's not important for us, but we still have to listen with the compassion, right? With the understanding. Then they feel release in their mind. But in their part, it is frivolous, right? But they do not notice. So this is one of the main duties in Mangala Vihara. We have to listen to the people. Very important. Of course, this is very important. Later you will know it, right? Later I will talk. It's a very important one. All people want to talk, right? Especially when you have your parents, trying to listen to them, right? Don't feel angry. Before my mother died, I really called to my parents. So after my mother died, I have a more closer relationship with my father because I only have one, right? For that reason, I very often call. But most of the time, I'm just listener. Just listen. Actually, most of the things, he's repeating. I already know it, but I will not say anything. Just listen. And of course, he left it. Because he want to talk, right? He want to talk. I don't know whether if I'm staying together with him, whether I will be able to put up with such a frivolous talk. I told my sisters to listen, right? Whatever he say, listen, right? It's very important. So for that reason, actually before my mother died, my sister stayed in her house, but she is the easiest one. She is the most patient, but the most patient one. So we requested her to stay with the father, so that the father has a close relationship, right? Because people who are not patient, so they will not put up with their frivolous talk, right? So I think that it is important, one of us say, to understand the nature of frivolous talk. When we grow old, right? When we grow old, the nature is possibility. We are always talking because we have a lot of experiences, right? We want to share. But those experiences are not relevant nowadays. Not relevant. No longer relevant nowadays. Especially the children became mature, right? They are no longer young children, right? So they have their own experiences. So even though you have a good intention to share, right? Even though what you say is very meaningful, it's not a right time anymore, right? Right time anymore. So we have to understand that. So I think trying to evaluate our status in the family, not only family, in the society as well, right? So if you are chairman of this Mangala Vihara, you are the most important person in the temple, right? But if you start down, actually no longer, right? No longer. What I want to say is, we have to evaluate, right, our status openly. So if you became, if you are serving, right, for the people, but of course you're a very important person in the society, right? But if you do not give your service to the society, what you say is not meaningful, not profound, right? So we have to evaluate our status, our place in the society as well. And rambling, that's very important. There's no particular purpose, no ending, right? Talking. So if the politician is talking in long speech, people became sleepy, right? Just like that. So every Sunday we have a Dhamma talk. Maureen always announced that it's short Dhamma talk. It's short Dhamma talk. She emphasized. For that reason, so we have to be very careful. So our speeches is short enough. So I think if we are talking without ending long speeches, right? It became frivolous talk. So we have to look at the timing, right? Timing. So this is a unbeneficial, right? Unbeneficial. So it became frivolous talk. The literal meaning of samphappalāpa is talks that destroy benefit. So when you're talking such a way, it destroys your benefit and also the benefit of the listener as well. You are taking a lot of time from the listeners, right? If you're talking nonsense, if you're talking improper time, if you're talking without discipline, without righteous way, right? You are destroying your own benefit and benefit of others, right? We ourselves have to learn, right? We ourselves have to learn. We ourselves have to be very mindful, right? So when we are approaching, that's very important. So the talk or speeches that destroy benefit. Samphappalāpa is the violation to indulge in frivolous talks, which destroy the benefit for both speakers and listeners. Not only the speakers, but also the listeners, right? So suppose I'm taking a lot of time, right? Maybe about 10 minutes or 20 minutes. So you will stay sitting with a great patience, right? Great patience. I'm destroying your time, right? destroying your special time. Or how to say that? At the same time, I'm destroying my status as a good teacher, right? So you will stop coming, right? Suppose I were teaching about up to 10 hours. 10 hours. How many weeks can you put up with? Can you wait patiently? Nobody will come, right? Nobody will come. Without saying anything, I'm teaching 10 hours, very profound. What I'm talking is very meaningful. But it's frivolous talk. Improper time, right? Improper time. For that reason, when I ask whether I should teach 1 hour, 45 minutes, or 1 hour, 1.5 hours, but most people they reply, Bhante, it's okay, 1 hour and 45 minutes. So for that reason, I stick to our previous timetable. But I ask them, many people ask, reply, it's okay, 1 hour, 45 minutes. But people doesn't want to sit down 1 hour, 45 minutes. They just want to sit down 1 hour. Then I have to teach only 1 hour, right? But the nature of this class is not the same as other class. We have a lot of the sotas and citation references. For that reading, we need to go in detail, right? For that reading, we need to take a lot of time. So there are two factors to complete a full course of frivolous talk. Number one, having a relation or gratification to use frivolous talk, right? Number one, we want to talk nonsense talk, frivolous talk, right? So you have a gratification, you like it, right? So here, the first criteria is you like it, you have a gratification, you desire it, right? It is unwholesome actions, but not a full course of frivolous talk. Only number two, right? Using frivolous talk. Only you use it, then only became a full course of frivolous talk, right? Then another interesting thing is that if the listener take it seriously or see it as a factual account, it becomes a full course of karma, right? Full course of karma for the speaker. So in the literatures, there are a lot of literatures that destroy your benefit by just like some fictions, right? Some stories, detective stories, especially detective stories, right? By reading them, you have to spend a lot of time, right? You have to spend a lot of time. So it destroys your own benefit, right? Sometimes you have to it destroys your own benefit. So some people take it seriously, right? So it became only if the listener take it seriously, it became a full course of karma, right? But if not, it is just unwholesome actions. So even though you're using frivolous talk, if the listener does not pay attention to you, right? Just listen, just because of the as a social, right? Just listening, right? If not, it is just unwholesome action, right? Unwholesome action. So this is also very important in our life. Abstinence from frivolous talk. Having abandoned idle chatter, he abstained from idle chatter, speaks proper time. So we have to speak proper time and speak the truth, right? If your parents, if your children are very busy trying to look at the time, whether it is a good time or proper time, right? If your children or if your parents are not in a good mood, right? So you have to try not to tell the time. So you have to examine whether it is a proper time or not, right? Speak the truth, speak what is beneficial, speaks on the Dhamma and discipline, right? Speak what is beneficial and speak what is the Dhamma and discipline. Here means speak righteous way, speak with the discipline, right? Speak with the discipline. At the proper time, he speaks such words as a word recording, But here, nidana vate means actually here, what in the ancient time, they normally put valuable thing underneath the earth, right? They put underneath the earth so that the robber, they cannot steal them, right? The thief, they cannot steal them. So here also, the speeches are what, detaining, or maybe in our day we can say that it is what deposit, right? What deposit. But this is a not literal meaning. It's what recording. Reasonable, succinct, and beneficial, right? Beneficious. Actually, the last one is very, very profound. It is number one, telling lie, right? Number two, slandering. Number three, harsh speeches. So the last one is all the thing, right? The rest. But main thing is that destroy your benefit. Of course, telling lie also destroy your own benefit. Slandering also, harsh speech also will destroy your benefit. But they have their own, they have their own name, right? They have their own name. So all the rest are taken as a frivolous talk, samphappalāpa, right? Samphappalāpa. Everything is important, right? Even the last one is important. Everything is important. So if you refrain from those four unwholesome mental actions, it became right speech, right? If you refrain from telling lie, if you refrain from slandering, harsh speech, frivolous talk, it became right speech, right? Right speech. You're telling the truth. You speak, the speech that became unite, right? And you speak pleasant speeches, and you use a beneficial and meaningful speeches. So that only became right speech, right? Right speech. Any question? No question, right? Okay. Let's go back to Cakkapala Sutta. So in that sutta, the Buddha talk about 5 causes of speech, right? 5 causes of speech. Cakkapala Sutta, paragraph number 11, right? Paragraph number 11, page number 221. Bhikkhus, when others address you, when other people are talking to you, their speech may be sometimes timely, sometimes they will speak untimely, right? Improper time, while you are busy, right? While you are not in a good mood, they may be talking, right? Timely, sometimes untimely. Sometimes truth, sometimes untruth. Sometimes gentle, sometimes harsh. Sometimes connected with the well-being, sometimes not connected with the well-being. Sometimes spoken with the mind of loving kindness, sometimes spoken with inner hate or anger. they may use, right? So these are called 5 causal speeches, right? Even they use those, whether good and bad, right? Speeches, here, bhikkhus, you should train that. Our mind will remain unaffected. Very important, right? People may speak truth, and some people may speak untruth. Some people timely and untimely. Some may use beneficial speeches, some unbeneficial, right? Some will speak with the loving kindness, compassion. Some may speak in a hate, jealousy, etc., right? But here, our mind will remain unaffected. That's very important. So for that reason, I call it ichu, right? We can call it ichu. In Pali, we call it upekha, equanimity, right? Equanimity. So we have to balance our mind, not to move. Equanimity here means staying in the middle, right? Some people will speak truth and truth, timely and timely. Try not to be moved, right? Very calm, unaffected, right? That we can call it ichu, right? Emotional intelligence, emotional quotient, right? And we should utter no evil words, even though they are talking with the inner hate, harsh speeches, untimely, unbeneficial. No inner hate, right? No evil words. We should abide compassionate for their welfare. Even though they are complaining, even though you are yelling at you, right? Should abide compassionate for their welfare. It's not easy, but we have to practice, right? We have to practice. With a minor loving kindness, without inner hate, right? Without inner hate. I think many of you know that Cakkapala, his brother, after listening teachings of the Buddha, his brother became a monk. So they are Brahmin, they are proud of themselves. So the Brahmin are higher caste, right? Higher caste. The monks are outcast according to them, right? But his brother, a Brahmin, became a monk, right? He became very angry. Why my brother became a Buddhist? Very angry. Then he straight go to the monasteries and go in front of the Buddha, and he will curse the Buddha, and he will use offensive speeches, complaining, and also a very, very rude speeches. The Buddha didn't say anything. Without anger, just looking at him. Just listen very patiently, very calmly. So the Brahmin, he became exhausted. Became tired, right? Because he is full of anger, right? Infuriated. Then he's talking, many unpleasant, offensive speeches. Then he became very tired, right? Then the Buddha started talking. The Brahmin, sometimes if the guest and the visitor will come to your house, then you will prepare a lot of food, right? Then after their business finish, the visitor go back without eating anything, right? Without eating anything. The food on the table, what will you do? What belong to you? Do they belong to you or do they belong to anyone? The Brahmin said that belong to me. If the visitor do not eat, we will eat it. This is our own, right? And the Buddha said that. Same thing. So things that you said, which are unpleasant, offenses, bordering on anger, I will not take what you said. I will not take it. You take it yourself. You take it yourself. But here, the Buddha, actually, of course, the Buddha is very compassionate, no inner hate, arahant, right? Looking at the example of the Buddha, some people may speak offensive speeches, unpleasant speeches, and disagreeable preachers, right? So if we are not taking, right? If we are not taking, they have to take it back, right? So I think it's very important with the minor loving kindness. Of course, it's not easy if you do not have understanding and wisdom to practice understanding and compassion to those who are yelling at you, who are criticizing you, right? So I think the Buddhism, the Buddha normally, he will say that it is equanimity, right? Upekkha. Even in this sutta, the Buddha gives many examples, right? One of the examples is you will throw away unpleasant dust, dusty and nasty ones on the ground, right? The ground will not be affected. Great patience, right? Just like that, we should have patience, understanding, just like the earth, right? Even though people will throw away, right? Dusty things, nasty things, you will stay, I want to say, that put up with this, right? Just like that, we have to practice it. So people will say 5 course of speeches. Some of them may be good, some of them may not be good, right? Anyway, we have to practice to remain unaffected, right? So I very often share in the Brahmajala Sutta, right? So the Buddha, when the Buddha is traveling from Rajagaha to Nalanda, right? So teacher and pupil, a Brahmin teacher and pupil following the Buddha and Sangha, right? The Brahmin teacher is criticizing and reviling the Triple Gym. And his pupil is praising Triple Gym, right? How the Buddha is great, how his teaching is a truth, like this, right? Then the monks coming from behind reported this incident to the Buddha. And the Buddha said that some people may be dispraising and reviling the Triple Gym. Because of that, don't feel offended, don't feel angry. They may criticize Triple Gym. But what you have to do is, without anger, trying to reply what they say is not truth. Here, we have to take action without anger, right? That's very important. Action without anger. Our mind is not affected, but we just reply. So what they say is not truth, right? Sometimes, some people may praise Triple Gym. Because of that, do not feel elated. If you feel elated, you will not know whether what they are saying is truth or not, right? Truth or not. So recently, or not recently, I think 7 or 8 years ago, there was a news that Buddhism was choosing the best religions in the world. I don't know whether you have read that one. It's spread in the internet. I think how many? I don't know. I forgot how many years ago. Maybe about 6 or 7 years ago, right? So there is an article saying that so many religious leaders met in the Geneva and they will choose Buddhism as the best religion. But that news is not truth. Most Buddhists, and they will share that news because they feel lighter, right? They feel elated. They feel very happy because without understanding, without examining whether that view is logical or illogical, right? That they just share. So Buddhism is chosen as the best religion. So what I mean is, sometimes some people will praise Buddhism, right? Triple gem. But if you hear such a praise, do not feel elated. Remain unaffected, right? But so trying to reply then whether what they say is truth or not, right? Truth or not. What I mean is actually it is a equanimity, right? Trying to remain unaffected because of those bad or good experiences, right? So that is very important. So these are 5 causes of speech. And the Buddha said that bhikkhus, even if bandits were to sever you savagely, limb by limb, with a 2-handed sword. So that is the main point of the teachings, the main point of the sutta. So even the bandits were to sever you savagely, limb by limb, with a 2-handed sword. He who gives rise to a minor hate toward them will not be carrying out my teaching. If you angry, even in the mind, right? Not right to show your anger, but even in your mind, if you get rise, hatred in your mind, that means you are not carrying teachings of the Buddha, you are not following teachings of the Buddha. If you angry, that means you are not listening to the Buddha. Very difficult, right? They are killing, right? They are killing by using 2-handed sword, right? You are cutting your body. But if you have a hatred toward them in your mind, even in your mind, you are not showing on your face. You are not saying anything, just giving rise hatred just in your mind, right? The Buddha said then, you are not following my teaching. Such a noble and compassionate heart, right? Compassionate heart. Of course, in other religion, they will say that they have, the right to revenge on the basis of justice. In Buddhism, no. No excuse, right? Other religion, they will say that they can take revenge on the fighting. They can fight, right? Actually, in Buddhism, there is no justification for fighting or killing, right? Even the hatred, they're killing you with a 2-handed sword, no justification to have a hatred toward them, right? If you are angry, you are not following teachings of the Buddha. Of course, this is the most important, this is the higher teaching, I would say that, right? Not easy, but we have to practice as much as we can, right? Within our limit, right? Within our limit. For that reason, in that sutta, we can draw a line, we can make conclusion. So there are 5 criteria of the best speech. Number 1, must be timely. Number 1, actually timing is very important. So you have to know the time. Now I have only a few minutes. I'm very careful about the time. Time is very important, right? Number 2, must be truth, right? Timely truth. But sometimes, even though you are telling the truth, not right? It is a good timing, it is truth, but if you are using offensive speeches, that's also not good, right? So, time, truthfulness is not enough. Must be gentle, right? You must speak gently. That is a third criterion. Sometimes, even though it is truth, timely and gentle, not enough yet. Must be connected with the well-being. Connected with the well-being, right? The most important thing is with the mind of loving kindness. You must speak, right? You must speak with the kind of loving, with the mind of loving kindness. Actually, everything comes from our mind. Everything comes from our mind. For that reason, the Buddha points out importance of the mind in the Dhammabhra, the first verse, right? Mind is forerunner of everything. But so these are 5 criteria of the best speech. If you talk based on these one, it's a right speech, right? But for that reason, I give the best speech, right? There are some good speech as well. Sometimes we need to use harsh method, right? We need to use harsh method, but stay good. Later I will show you the example, right? Example. So this is only just a good criteria, right? Of course, 5 criteria of the word speech, right? The word speech may be untimely, number 1. Not truth. Number 3, harsh. Number 4, not connected with the well-being. Number 5, spoken with a minor inner hate. Minor inner hate, right? So actually everything comes from hatred, right? Hatred. Then it became harsh, untrue, etc., right? So these are, I think it's very good, very good sutta, right? The next one is a 6 type. Any question? Any question up to now? No question, right? Then let's talk about 6 type of speech. I think that I have only 5 minutes. 5 minutes or so. Then I'm not going 6 type of speech, but I just want to share the story of Abhiya Rajakumar. Abhiya, the name is Abhiya. Rajakumara means prince. Prince Abhiya. Majjhima Nikaya, Sutta number 58. Prince Abhiya is the son of King Bimbisara. He is the follower of Jainism. He's not a Buddhist. I think that he is one of the generals, a very influential person in the Bimbisara military, because he is expert in the chariot. Maybe it is a commander-in-chief in the chariot, right? But in the Asian India, they have a infantry meet on foot, right? Infantry. Number 2, horse. And number 3, elephant. And number 4, chariot, right? Chariot. 4 army. Normally they have a 4 army in ancient time. So actually, Prince Abhiya is maybe I think one of the chief generals at the chariot army. So so according to this sutta, disciple of Mahavira, the leader of Jainism, Tikatapasi, visit the Buddha and have a conversation with the Buddha, right? Then the Buddha asked Tikatapasi how many actions, right? How many karma does Nikanda Nada Buddha Mahavira proclaim, right? And he said that we do not use the word karma, we use danda. Danda means rod, right? And in other words, we can call it punishment, right? Punishment. Danda means punishment or rod. And there are 3 types of danda: bodily, bhave and mente, right? Bodily, bhave and mente. But Buddhism use the word karma, but they use the word danda, right? Very similar. But the difference between Buddhism and Jainism is that Buddhism, the Buddha said that mind is forerunner of everything. So the Buddha will say volition, chetana, right? Chetana bhikkhve kamma varami. Volition is karma. So sometimes you may kill sentient beings incidentally, right? Without intention. It's not karma, according to Buddhism. But according to Jainism, whether you have intention or not, whether you have volition or not, if you're doing with your body, with your speech, with your mind, it's called karma, right? It's called karma. But I think that nowadays, I'm not quite sure, nowadays they use the word karma, right? They use the word karma. But according to this Sutta, they are not using the word karma, they use the word danda, right? But they have a similar meanings, right? Similar definition. So the Buddha asks how many karma, right? How many danda, right? So there were three. Bodily danda, bhave danda, and mente danda, right? So the Buddha asks, among these three, which one is more serious? And Cakkapala said that bodily action is the most serious one, right? Among these three. Also, the Buddha confirmed, are you saying bodily actions? Yes. Are you saying bodily actions? Yes. Are you saying bodily actions? Yes. The Buddha confirmed. The Buddha reconfirmed, right? Then Cakkapala, disciples of Mahavira, ask, how many danda in your teaching? The Buddha said, we are not using danda, we use karma. How many karma? 3 karma. Bodily karma, bhave karma, and mente karma. Actually now we are learning, right? We are learning. We just finished 3 bodily karma and 4 bhave karma, right? And also another mente karma. Among these 3, which one is more serious? The Buddha say, mind, mente karma. Actually, Cakkapala surprised, right? It is obvious for him, it is obvious that if you kill a person, you're doing bodily, right? With your body. If you have a resentment or hatred a person, that is a mental one, right? According to him, it's very serious. It is quite obvious, quite clear that bodily action is serious, right? More serious than mental actions. But here the Buddha said that mental action is the most serious one. And Cakkapala also make confirm. Are you saying mental actions? Yes. Are you saying mental action? Yes. Are you saying? 3 times. So next week we will continue. Huh? Okay, so let's finish. Yo varatam bhavaro manu jesu sakyamuni bhagavakata kecho parakato bala viriya samangi Tam sukatam saranatamu Ragavi ragama ninjama soka Dhammama sangatama patikulan Marurami mambagunam su วิปัตตันธัมมามิมังสารนัตถามุเปมิยะถาชาตินามะหาภาลามาหุชัตตุสุสุสีสุปุริสายุเกสุอัตถาจาโปกาลธัมมาดัสสติสังฆามิมังสารนัตถามุเปมิสาธุสาธุสาธุ Good night everyone